Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Like Stefen and I traded for many, many years, and believe me, there are literally thousands of things to trade. So, don't just trade something because your neighbor's trading it. There's a lot out there. Feel comfortable, risk and reward, all that. You need to consider that. But again, this looks like a very, very reasonably priced product. How much is it, $100 a month?
It's $100 a month for the non-pros.
Okay.
And one thing I want to kind of mention that's kind of funny is a lot of people who actually write newsletters actually provide to the service. So they look at and they do their research, and then they basically charge a lot more for the expertise, but they use this product to come and arrive at their strategy.
Well, that's good for you guys, and I guess it's good for all the attendees here, because they can get some valuable information.
Right. This is where you can actually do your own research, and all the data is right in front of you.
Awesome, Stefen. I really appreciate you spending an hour with us at the ISE. I'd like to give you just a couple moments to recap, summarize anything that you'd like to, you think that the attendees would be interested in as far as LiveVol and volatility in general. Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank everyone for being patient, especially Steve. We've had some technical difficulties. I think Gmail went down and I couldn't log on. But basically what I want to tell everybody is there is no real magic formula to trading. What it comes down to is research. You have to do your research, and you have to understand like what's trading, what the volatility is, and there's like few steps to learning. And the way I learned was very complicated. Like I think Steve too probably had to spend 6 months, a year learning the Natenberg, and basically trying to absorb what was happening. And what we try to do it is more visually, so you can get a lot of information very quickly. So if you can use the application to see, okay, where the stock charts has been, how people are betting, what the implied volatility has been in the past and going forward. If you have these kind of information, you can actually make intelligent decision on what to do. So let me just tell you, for all of those of you guys who really don't understand volatility that much, if I told you that if I told you that the volatility is in Amazon goes up before earnings every time, and I asked you right here, Steve, can you still see this?
No, I actually took the screen away. But wait a second. I'll do it back. Wait. Okay. Just do what you did before. Share desktop. Fine. Just got to go back. Do share desktop. You have the controls.
Okay.
Yep. And it'll probably be on that same spot, however you found it before. Yep. Looks like, yep, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, so even at this like 1 hour, you guys could make an intelligent decision. So if I said Amazon earnings was coming up, a month from now, 2 months from now, and I showed you this graph, and let's say the graph was high, would you buy or sell? And you can already tell that these are high points, and maybe you should buy ahead of the earnings date, and then sell it maybe at earnings date, and you don't even have to take any risk on the earnings result. So it's a very simple way for you to start figuring out how the volatility moves. And the best way for somebody to really learn is if you start making money. I think if people who started trading started making some money, they would actually study more.
I agree. When you're successful, you want to study harder. But, I mean, it's sort of counterintuitive. But when we're not successful, we need to study hard. Hopefully we're studying the right material. I think that's your point. Sometimes you're not studying the right stuff when you're not successful. I know I went through that, too, for all my years trading, going through periods, realizing after, I didn't have all these neat tools, so I would learn not to buy volatility 2 days before earnings just by getting crushed on a volatility implosion, by buying it the day before earnings. The stock would gap up or down. It wouldn't matter because the options that I bought were too expensive.
Right. It's like learning the hard way, and everyone then laughs at you and go like, hey, you don't buy juice at that time.
So anyway, Stefen, do you want to show anything else? Otherwise, we're going to go back.
Yeah, that's fine. Just come to LiveVol.com and check it out, and email us if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And I think it's great that Steve is there teaching you guys, because he's actually a professional, so he's done it before. He knows what he's talking about, and I think it's really important to kind of like learn from somebody who's actually gone through it. Like Steve just talked about with volatility, he's talking about something that really happened to him and not something that he read in a book. And that's pretty much the best way to learn is through experience.
Well, thanks, Stefen. You're the same. That's why, one thing that's great about this product is that Stefen traded for years, and he knows what it takes to be successful. So he built a product that he thought other people would want to use. So my hat's off to you, Stefen. Great idea. Please go to LiveVol at support at LiveVol. Is that correct?
Yes.
Support at LiveVol. If you have any sort of questions, inquiries, whatever, that's the place to go. Stefen, thanks so much for spending the last hour and a half or so with us. Really appreciate it. I think the attendees all really learned a lot. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Take care. I want to remind everyone, take care, Stefen, that next Thursday, Jack Crooks is going to be on talking about how currencies are valued. A lot of you probably, if you're new to currency options, but you really understand, let's say, equity options, and you want to know how these currencies are valued, come to the webinar on Thursday. Jack always does a great job talking about all the different topics as they relate to currency trading. He's really an expert, so please join us. I think it'll be great. That's 4:30 on September 3rd. September 9th, Tony Hansen will be talking about long-term strategies using FX options. And then on September 15th, we have Brian Overby with Trade King talking about using the Greek. So he's going to be talking about a little bit more about what Stefen was talking about, worried about, or how, if you're worried about your Vega risk, what you do, gamma risk, and so on and so on. So thanks again for joining us today. I hope to see you all back. I won't be back on Thursday. My colleague will be here substituting for me, though. But please, if you have any questions, I see a lot of questions rolling in now. We got to log off. But if you have a question, I don't mind answering it. My email I'm going to give you, smeisinger@ise.com, and I answer all my emails. I try to do it as quickly as I can. So if you have, I see a question regarding option prices, current option price. I just can't deal with it right now. But Steve, send me that email, and I'll definitely answer your question. Thank you very, very much for spending the last hour and a half with us. And please come back on Thursday with Jack Crooks. Have a safe trading day tomorrow. On behalf of the ISE, this is Steve Meisinger saying have a great night. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.